Hey there, Hollywood fans, and welcome to this week's show. So we promised that we were going to end August with a banger, and we are delivering. Last week, it was all about the GXCCs, and we went out to Dalmas and nailed down their 6th round of their 8-round championship. And then straight after that, just last weekend, we went out to Farm Jam. The final round, exactly where we finished off the championship last year, out at Buxie's. Son Gitty delivering the goods once again, and it was a double points round. So everyone was out there fighting tooth and nail for those all-important final round championships, and it was a spectacular day of racing. This is what went down at the final round of FJs. All this Farm Jam Harescramble racing action was proudly brought to you by Vans Racing, in association with VW Mastercars Hatfield, Stack Ups, V3 Designs, ANCAT Engineering, and SVR Innovations. It's time to get the job done and wrap up shop in 2024. The 5th round of Farm Jam out at Sungitty, Buxie's, giving us a double point scoring round, the all-important one to decide the champions of the season. As always, before the race, we head down to catch up with the key players. Yo, Ian, here to wrap up the championship again, but this will be your last time on the 50. How are you feeling about it?
I'm okay, but yeah, I am a bit nervous. I can't remember if this was where all that river crossings was and the hill climbs, yeah.
But check how much you've grown, dude. You are literally dwarfing that 50. So how excited are you to get on the 65?
Very.
Have you got it already?
No, not yet.
You need to go shopping?
Yes.
The Farm Jam is like, it's my favorite race of the whole season so far because it's a little fast, it's a little thick, it's got everything. So I really like the Farm Jam. I'm confident. I didn't really practice after the GXCC last weekend, but I'm confident over this race. I think I'll have a banger. So far, this is the most competitive class what I've ridden before, so it's actually a very nice class to ride in. Yeah, thanks for Wayne and everyone helping me through the pit stops, everything very fast. Thank you for all. Thanks.
It's so much fun, the bit of technical, the bit of flowy, the bit of tense. It's so much fun, I love it. It's probably my favorite event so far for this year. Yes, it's a bit early in the year, but yeah, I can't wait for today. Yeah, I just want to get a top 5 in the championship, mine. yeah, just enjoy it, get the horse up, try to get also and just try to ride my own race, not get too caught up in, yeah, it's quite rocky here, but I'll try my best.
It's just, these are for me the funnest races of the year from the Nationals and GXCCs. It's nice and technical and it's not as fast and I just like it. So I can't get third. If I get third, I'm gelijk with the guy behind me. So just the plan is just have another race, just go out, give it my all and hopefully get the win. I'm expecting it to be nice, I expect it to be lacquer rocks, everything. So I think it's going to be just another fun day.
So yeah, it's the last season, not last season, last race. It's just a family thing. We just love riding, love getting to the outdoors. So it's just, riding bike is what we do. Yeah, so championship stays as championship, doesn't matter if it's big or small. So I'm just going to come in, just stay safe, just enjoy riding, just be on my bike. And yeah, hopefully we can stay in front, just not make mistakes through the day. I'll definitely be looking at both, definitely chili and ice cream, just to see like the different technicality that is in there and see which one is quicker. But chili is always my go-to.
Going to be an exciting day this time around. The morning session, as always, the junior category riders get their briefing alongside the Pro 85 and the Pro ladies. And then we head up the hill. A very short, tight and technical start layout to kick things off. Pro 85s heading on out the gate. This season, it's been all about Derek van Asbeken, very strong off the gate, along with Ben van Skalkbeek and Werner Kleinams. They would go out and challenge their way around a tight, short and technical track. Even though they were on the main route, it would still be 16 Ks for them to go out and get the job done. The junior 85s would be on the shorter course, where the challenge would be between Geer Jokitia, Liam Skeepers, Mullet Man, Herbert Gerson and Wilco de Ploy. This looked like it was going to be a track, particularly on the junior route, that was going to suit the more technically gifted riders. On the Pro 65s, JL, that's John-Luc van der Westhuizen, Declan Richards and Lo Lombard. But watch out, because Stubby was coming on strong in the latter half of the season. That's Zack Attack Stubbs. For the ladies' gate, also going out onto the main loop, where they would find the 85 pro riders. The ladies would go out there and challenge their way around the course. The season has been all but dominated by Queen Catherine Mostert, the multiple Farm Jam Ladies Champion. Looking good. It would be up to Carla Breitenbach and the rest of the ladies to try and chase her down once again. Junior 65s, great gate, best gate of the season for Julian van der Berg, himself, Conor Tunis and Alonso Ashadina. Ashadina, the kid to watch out for in the championship, needed to stay inside the top three. On the 50cc's, also a season that has been dominated by the former champion and reigning champion Ian van Rensburg, but Milan and Jackson Roux were going to be out there this time around, seeing what they could do. The track for the morning session for the juniors would be a multiple layout track, a lot of square edge rocks, lots of burnt dirt and little bits of powder dust to challenge the riders. This is where we finished our season last year, so a lot of the riders would be familiar with the style of terrain and how to attack it. The biggest lineup of 50s we have seen for a very long time, but a couple of them really battling with the technical terrain. Tyler de Vet, Marcel Paxton and Blakey Kruger, no shows in the morning session. Hanru Struvic got the job done in a number 5, with Ethan Preston taking his small Pee-wee machine up to a number 4. The rocks were no challenge though for the former champion Ian van Rensburg. Jackson Roux just behind him in 3rd place, had one of his best rides on the little twist and go, actually electric powered KTM, but it was Ian van Rensburg 2nd place, good enough to wrap up his championship. But a new man on the gate and someone to watch out for, because the champion Ian is going to be moving up into the 65s next year. Milan Roux takes his first ever Farm Jam win at the final round. Remember that name as we move forward into next season. On the junior 65s, Riley Skeepers got himself up there into a number 5. Just missed out on staying on the lead lap, but got 4 laps under his belt. And will know what to practice in the off-season to work on the more technical style of riding. We have noticed that the kids have got much better at the more technical terrain that we are delivering out here at the Farm Jams in 2024. Julian van der Berg, great gate in the early stages, having a cool dice with Conor Tunis, but eventually Julian van der Berg having to drop down into a number 4 position come the end of the race. but did stay on the lead lap and wasn't too far off, eventually finishing inside the top 3. Connor Tunis would go on to walk away with a second on the day. DC Daniil always inside of the top 3 on the gas machine, starting to outgrow their bike. Looks like he's potentially making the move up into the Pro 65s for next year. And then it'll be a quick leap and a skip up into the 85s. We saw some shots earlier on of Connor Tunis having a nice dice with Julian van der Berg. He just approached the race with a nice mature head, allowed the race to come to himself, eventually walking away with second place, just 6 minutes off eventual race winner. Now we know Alonso Ashadina is absolutely dialed in on this technical terrain, so when the tracks are super fast, yeah, he might be on the back foot. When it's super tech, he is the man. Ashadina good enough also to wrap up that championship with that ride. In the junior 85s, the fastest kids out there on the short loop, Gustav van der Kerk got himself up there into a number 6, beating out on Ebert Goosen and Janu van der Meulen. Kukelenberg got the job done inside of the top 5 for the first time of the season. Not too far off the back wheel of Ulrich van Aspergen, the younger brother of Derek. Ulrich does like it more technical, and he looked like he had a big grin on his face this time around as he tamed the beast that is round number 5 of the FJs. 4th place and 6 laps. The juniors were really spinning up the track. In the early days, it looked like Ulrich was going to be on a burner, running inside of the top 3, having a great dice with the championship leader, Liam Skippers. Here, Kutsia had the whole shot and ran with the numbers in lap number 1, but would get closed down and eventually have to drop down into a number 3 ride. But he'd be happy enough with that in his first season of the junior 85s. Learning a lot on the first tour and learning a lot riding and elbows up with Liam Skippers. Mullet Man Skippers was playing the championship game here. Second place, good enough to get his name on the box and the big number 1 plate come the end of the season. So he was happy with that. But the day really belonged to Wilco Deploy. Deploy loves it when it gets tight and technical. We've been trying to figure this kid out, understand where his strengths are, and the final round of the FJs showed that he is a technical rider, likes the square edges, has a good setup on his machine, and went out and took the flag. Wilco, you hammered the guys today. What made the difference?
The rocks made a big difference. It was fun, and the uphills and downhills, it was very lekker.
Tell me about the season. Sum up Farm Jam in 2024 for you.
Yeah, it was fun. It was lekker fast and flowy the whole season through, yeah.
Good old Wilco getting his name at the top of the charts at the end of the season. At this round, beating out Mullet Man, Liam Skippers, Geer in 3rd place, Van Aswerken in 4th, and Kukelenberg breaks his way inside the top 5 for the first time on the season. Into the junior 65s, Alonso Ashadina making this season and the final round his own, beating out on Tunis, Daniil van der Berg and Skippers. And the 50cc's, a new kid on the top step, beating out on the reigning champion, Milan Roux. Takes the final win of the season, beating out the champ, Ian van Rensburg, with Jackson Roux in the 3 spot ahead of Preston and Strivik. Next up, our pro classes. 65 pros, always going to give us eye-wateringly fast pace, speed, and dicing as well. Probably on the categories, racing in the morning session, the guys that run the closest to each other. Declan Richards crashing out in spectacular fashion halfway through the race, eventually walking away with 4th place. Jean-Luc van der Westhuizen also had his issues late on in the race on the final lap, dropping down to a number 3 spot. That meant that Lo Lombard was improving and getting himself up there into a number 2 spot. Lo getting his cheese and a number 2 spot, and a different looking 1 and 2 at the final round, with Lombard in 2nd place and Zack Attack Stubbs finally getting onto the top step. He's been coming on strong since his move up from the 50s, and the final win of the season goes to Zack Attack. In the Pro 85s, these were the guys that were going eye-wateringly fast throughout the race. They had a choice of a couple of the Chilean ice cream splits, and they showed how technical the track was and the advantages that could be gained on the Chilean ice creams. Alexander Compon and Caleb van der Westhuizen outside of the top 6. Paulus van Kerk, Mackenzie Bam and Joubert van Kerk showing us the way down, the more direct route of the first Chilean ice cream split, taking the chili and taking the risks. Fantastic dice started to develop with these guys as they were joined by Ben van Skalkbeek, Those were the guys trying to break their way inside of the magical top 3. Eventually, Paulus van Kirk walking away with a number 6 finish. Mackenzie Bam up the road in a number 5, but also showing how tight the racing really is inside of the top 5. Nothing to choose between the top 5 runners. Mackenzie focusing on a more technical side of riding, so you expect her to run a little bit higher, but 5th place shows how fast everyone else was running. Joubert van Kirk, his best ride of the season, up the road inside of a number 4, not far off the back wheel of Ben van Schalkwyk. The difference between 3rd and 4th place, a slender 2 minutes. The top 2, though, were banging it out there, also separated by less than a minute. Werner Kleinams coming on strong in the second half of the season after he had problems early on the tour. But the second half of the season has very much been dominated by Derek van Aswegen, using Farm Jam to develop his technical riding skills, and it shows as well. Van Aswegen takes the final win of the season and extends on the championship to take the big number 1. For the ladies, it was great to see so many of them lining up once again to take on the challenge of the final round. Many of the ladies choosing to go for the ice cream rather than the chili splits, to err on the side of caution. Marlene Pienaar was there, Taneshka Tienersen and Michaela Joubert made her way inside of the top 5. Shelley Compan, with those little legs, danced her way around the track and got a very solid ride of a number 4 under her belt. Maddie Gowdy inside of the top 3, one of her best rides on the Farm Jams, so shows that she has been working on her technical riding prowess and walks away with a number 3 spot. 3 laps under her belt on the main course. On paper, Carla Breitenbach, the closest to eventual race winner Catherine Mostert, walking away with 3 laps under her belt and a strong 2nd place ride. But it was once again a dominating performance from now 3-time Farm Jam Ladies Champion, Queen Catherine Mostert, as she put a lap in between herself and the closest ladies. With that ride, cementing and confirming another number 1 plate in 2024.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this whole Farm Jam season. Every single race was so fun, so enjoyable, really marked well. I really enjoyed this track. It was technical, flowing. I really enjoyed it. All of them is really nice. But I do like Botshabelo, and then this is now my favorite. Because I think we did it in reverse quite a bit, so I really enjoyed this one. I really love that the ladies class is growing. It's really nice seeing new ladies, new faces. But I mean, yeah, it's just riding, just training, and that's what keeps you on your game.
Hey, little legs, tell me about the day.
Yeah, it was tough. I really enjoyed the mountains and the uphills and stuff. That was really nice to climb. The descent, that was a bit gnarly. And there were rocks for days. But yeah, short legs, this terrain, tough, but I really enjoyed it.
And then take me through your favorite track of the season on Farm Jam.
Well, this is my 2nd Farm Jam for the year, so I think maybe this one. This was really a lot of fun. Very fun, yeah.
Dee, looked like a faultless day, but tell me about it.
This day was very difficult, eh? A lot of crashes, eh? Like, I would go on the chilies and stuff, and then it was really difficult, eh? It's like in proper enduro. So, every time I go on the chili, I have to, like, launch my bike up stuff, and yeah, it's just, but it was awesome, eh?
And then talk me through the season. Farm Jam 24 has been amazing.
It's very good. I loved the whole season, every single race. It's awesome, the tracks and everything, and I couldn't have pulled today off without 266 suspension, my mom, my dad, my brother, Case Construction, and everyone else. Thank you.
Werner, great ride, just that close at the end.
Yeah, it was like a tick, but what happened was on the fast bit, yeah, Derek, he's just next level on the fast. Yeah, I can't catch him. So on the tick, I get close to him, and I'm said to myself, I'm going to pass him in the next corner. No, we get on the fast bit, phew. Yeah, and I'm like, yo.
And then just sum up the 2024 championship at Farm Jams. Tough start to the season, but it was a good year.
Yeah, it was a good year. I had some bad luck with some of the races, but it got better at the end.
And then just take me through your favorite track of the season.
Sergeant Pepper. Sergeant Pepper was my favorite.
JL, another banger run. Take us through the day.
Yeah, it was very tough this race. I got the whole shot. I went down at the river. It was slick there. But yeah, we tried to catch up. Couldn't manage, but I got the championship in the back. So yeah, I'm proud.
And to sum up the Farm Jam Championship this season, we've hit some amazing tracks.
Yeah, Sergeant Pepper's is my favorite. But yeah, this one was fun. Just my arms are dead, and yeah.
Here's confirmation of our pro category results. Queen Catherine gets the job done in the ladies, beating out on Breitenbach and Gaudi. Compan, Joubert, Tennyson and Pinar give us a stellar ladies gate lineup, but it was Queen on top once again. In the Pro 85s, Derek van Aswegen has come on leaps and bounds in his technical riding to stand on the top step come the end of the season and the final round, beating out on Klenums, Van Skalkwyk, Vannie Kirk, his best rider of the season, beating out on Bam, Vannie Kirk, Van der Westhuizen and Compan, and Zack Attack Stubbs takes the final win of the season. That'll improve his championship standings and also his confidence heading into next season. He beat out on Lombard and former multiple champions Van der Westhuizen and Richards. Let's go check out on VW Mastercars and the specials they've got for us. For the last 2 seasons, GXCC has been partnering with our amazing friends out there at VW Mastercars Hatfield. And as always, they've got some amazing specials. Get yourself the brand new Polo from VW Mastercars Hatfield in Pretoria and only start paying at the beginning of 2025. This is an amazing deal for all of our youngsters who are coming out of the 125s, maybe up into the 250s and looking for car number 1. So get on up to VW Mastercars Hatfield and check out the new Polo Vivo. Before the afternoon session, we go down to the pits and check out what everyone is feeling like going into the final round of the season.
Yeah, no, Farm Jam's awesome, I must be honest. So just as a whole family team that we are, it brings everybody together. And the way Leon and them organise it, it really is cool. You know, you want to come racing here because it's such a fun community. Everybody's cool with each other. We all have good races at the end of the day. And you know, the tracks are not too technical and they're not fast at all. It's a bit of everything in between. So whether you're a pro rider, novice rider, amateur starter, it's all good for you. And that's what brings us back here, because we see the community that gets involved here. And yeah, we just love putting back into the sport here. It really is cool. Yeah, obviously last year was the first time we raced here and it was really, really awesome. And yeah, as you said, it was a front track. We had to work a bit, but it gets gnarly out there. And yeah, I believe today they've got something extra for us. So yeah, we're looking forward to it, to see what they're gonna produce. And let's do the times and let's see what happens. Yeah, no, it's good. It's nice to come down to the last race and everybody can win a championship. You know, there's 3-4 of us that can win a championship, and it all happens on the day. You know, as I say to the guys, never say anything until the checkered flag is flown, and that's it. You know, racing is racing. Anything can happen in the day. So yeah, there's a couple of us that can go for the championship, but it's, as you say, it's a good fun event, and that's what it's all about. The camaraderie of everybody getting together and just being here as a big family and team. I love it too much. So. Yeah, man, yeah, as I say, the team, I know keep going about family, but we're a big family-oriented team. You know, we don't worry about podiums and all that type of stuff. Yeah, podium's always cool, but the guys that we got in the team are podium competitors, which is good. But you know, the whole thing is that the guys enjoy their riding. You know, with me involved in the sport so many years, it's all about the enjoyment. You know, as I say to the guys, we're very competitive. I'm still competitive at my age, but it's about enjoying it. If you're not enjoying it, you shouldn't be doing it at all, you know? And that's what the whole team's about. You know, we got girlfriends, we got wives, we got sisters, we got brothers, we got the grannies, grandpas here. Everybody comes along and just has a real good time, eh?
Yeah, so I think Leon and the team does a great job. That's what brings us back. Yeah, the season, it seems to come to a close early in the year, but I also think the guys have a challenge with all the different types of series through the year. I think it makes it a bit challenging. For me, I'm glad it's coming towards the end. I think it's been a long year. It's been a good year. We've been blessed. The guys from Mastercard, the families looked after me nicely. The Lord's kept us safe. We've had some ups and downs, some injuries, but we've worked through it, and yeah, we've been consistent, and the year's been good so far. Yeah, you know, all championships are serious. I think the effort and the time and the support behind you all pays off for the championship. So, yeah, 7-point lead. It's a double header. It's going to be tight. There's a lot of guys. I see Tyrone Skitters. Yeah, DJ 7 points behind me. We're all good mates. So at the end of the day, whoever gets it, at the end of the day, it's for the fun, and yeah, all glory to the Lord to keep us safe and bring us back, and we can have a beer or two afterwards with everyone. You know what, we are to ride, so yeah, we will do the chilies. We'll see how it goes, and yeah, hopefully it's not too much of a bottleneck going through the race, and yeah, but we'll take it as it comes. But for now, it's all chili, eh?
Yeah, the Farm Jam events are a lot of fun. Everybody is always happy and in a good mood. It's a great vibe, so everybody keeps coming back, and it's a lot of fun. Championship has gone reasonably well. I had a bad one at the last race, sort of stuffing my knee up a bit, but come back okay, mostly functional. So yeah, we'll give it a good go at this last round. Look, as long as I get a top 3, I'm happy for the championship, but we'll give it a good go. We'll see what happens on the track. Yeah. So this is my second year with them, and obviously they got me into the Farm Jams, and they've been helping out a lot, keeping the bike fresh, keeping me fresh, keeping the kit fresh. Everything just worked out well, so I'm very thankful for them.
Look, I like the family vibe. Everyone gets together here. Even my dad's racing with me now, so that's even a joy. I've been racing for 15 years plus. So my dad has been supporting me all the years, and this year or at last year I told him no, he needs to get himself a lacquer bike and start racing again. Leave me alone. I'm okay. I'll do it on my own with Catherine and them, and he can enjoy himself a bit as well. And he's a good racer. I see he's doing well. He's getting top 6 the whole time. Hopefully he gets into the top 3 soon, but I think next year's going to be fun. Look, this is a lacquer event. It's quite technical. There's a lot of sharp turns, a lot of rocks in the grass. It's going to be in your face the whole time. I think just take it smooth and easy today and see what happens. Anything can happen. And like you said, it's 50 points. I think everyone's on top with each other. I think I've got a 20-point difference between me and Divan. So, you never know what happens. Well, I've been doing chili the whole season, so I think I'm going to go chili again. It looks like a small Earthberg section here. I already saw now that looks a lot faster for me. But you need to check your foot pegs. It can hook. You can go down there. So you need to concentrate by the peri-peri sections, but I love it.
Just the organization and the event and the people and how good the tracks are. I mean, it's been awesome the whole year, and can't fault them on anything. I've had some mistakes during the season, and it's left me with a 9-point gap, but yeah, with double points I might make the gap up, and we'll see. Maybe I can take it, but yeah, Devon's in the lead, and we'll see. Yeah, so last year I did the last Farm Jam with them, and I've done the whole year with them so far, and it's been awesome. They've welcomed me with open arms, and sponsors are awesome, Wayne's awesome, the people in the team are awesome. Yeah, it's awesome support.
Let's take him to the gate. This is going to be an interesting one. A very short run into the hole shot, and then a tight technical layout of a track. In the S1 Pros, Johnny Buerta set himself up perfectly on the day with clear air, although low on his wheel, and then Kobus Bester getting the job done. It would be the Devastator in 4th place, having a fight from the back of the pack. Early laps though, all about Johnny B. S2 Pros, the championship has been all about Tyron Peltzer. Himself, Vernon Nordia and Andre Mostert would be banging bars in the early laps. But Peltzer was on a burner, trying to climb up the ladder in the overalls as well. S3 Pros, Jerome Stubbs and Peltzer banged bars hard off the gate. Themselves, Mitch Fellon and the rest of the crews would be doing the heavy chase down. Seniors, wild and crazy as always, and the return of Tyron Skidder put himself out front. A rocket ship off the start, leading out on DJ Milan in the early laps, with championship points leader Carl de Toy off the back wheel. For the Masters, the rocket ship that is Wayne Farmer. Points leader, he grabbed clear air, and he would be running ahead of Andre Mostert, and Captain Kirk was back with him as well. In the S1 Amateurs, the big Viking, Frans de Klerk, hammering it off the front. Himself and Jacques Oosthuizen putting the gas machines 1 and 2 in the early laps. In the S2 Amateurs, Bert Moe, the man to watch in the championship, but also Tristan Borges was up for the championship fight. S3 Amateurs, Oliver Whitehouse grabs the big hole shot, but the points leader Ian Minnar on the 111 Fast KTM machine was to be watched out for. Grandmasters Gary Whitehouse hammering the nail, knows how to get the best out of his machine. Himself, Conrad Edwards and Joas Stassen would be running the numbers early on, but there was a lot of talent on the Grandmasters gate. S1 Novice, Danny Webb got the cheese and put a little bit of a gap between himself and the rest of the chasing pack as the track started to fill up nicely. The SVR boys were going good in the S2 novices. Sean van Rensburg and Neil Olofse, joined by Gerard Nel. Everyone on that gate, trying desperately to get those final points on the plate. The S3 novices, chaos as always. One of the biggest gates of the morning, and everyone tripping over each other simply to try and get out there onto the course. And then the mean greenies, the green category, going out there to race on the junior course, giving us our biggest entry of the season. Chris Kruger, the man to watch out for on this gate as he went up for the championship challenge with Louis Lowe. Now, the course was going to be an interesting one. 16 kilometers with 3 Chilean ice cream splits to choose from and an expected race time on the pros of less than 30 minutes. It was going to be a dizzying run in the afternoon session with a predicted fast pace. In the greenies, Louis Lowe, who has stood on the top step of the box a couple of times this season, had to take one of his lowest finishes, eventually walking away with 5 laps on the junior loop and a number 6 finish. That hurt him in the championship, I can tell you that. Joshua Webb was up there into a number 5. The cool thing about the green category is we see a lot of new names and faces at almost every single event. Norman Ellis up the road into a number 4, enjoyed his time out there. But man oh man, did the track get greasy, especially after that first little tiny river crossing. Slick Rocks was the name of the game. Yannick Hussen up the road into a number 3 spot. 5 laps scored and counted. Eventually just 2 minutes off the back wheel of second place. Second place was going to be all about Chris Kruger. Kruger's been the man this gate. Didn't even think he was going to be racing this year. The whole idea was to look after little Blakey on the 50s. Eventually the team said, you're out of the races, Chris. Come race. And he has been a cool find. We'll see him move up into some of the bigger afternoon racing categories for next year. Kruger in second place, but a new winner on the season. Rocking out one of the old Yamaha TTRs, the perfect machine for this type of terrain. Barent Olivier, 5 laps scored and counted, and a 4-minute race gap to put his name on the top step. Into the novice gates. This was the crazy gate going out in the afternoon session. So many riders on the S3 novices, with LP Skippers and Xavier Mulcahy down in a number 7. That meant 6th place was going to be Fernando Legui and Estienne Kutzer. Kutzer has been moving in and out of 4-stroke and 2-stroke. Looked like he picked the right machine for the job this time around. Ethan Peltzer up into a number 4. But if I tell you the time gaps between 4, 5 and 6, there was nearly nothing in it. Peltzer did a good run of form to get himself into a number 4 with MJ Van Aert in that over-the-bars attacking style. Got him up the road into a number 3 ride. Man, the guys were tired after lap number 2 and they had to survive 2 more laps of the flow. Cool to see the Chilean ice cream split there. Most of the riders choosing to go, especially on the uphill, into the ice cream, not wanting to do the pivot turns. Dion Jacobs takes us down Chile number 1 just to show you how steep it was. But it does save you a ton of time. But man, it was a big risk. It really was. Quite scary for the guys to go out there and get it done. Milan van Niekerk had his best ride of the season, getting the cheese and hammering almost 5 minutes into his competition to take the final win of the season. Into the S2 novice. This was going to be scary at the top of the hill because the championship was still to be decided. Francois Stradum and Estienne Smit just missing out on the cheese in a number 7 and 8. Truin de Klerk, those high bars helped him in the descending sections of the track for sure to get himself into a number 6, not too far off the back wheel of Martin Els. SVR, Sean van Rensburg, had one of his best rides, certainly a strong finish to the season for a man that was coming back from a ton of injuries at the early part of the tour. Cool to see big SVR get it done in 3rd place. Gerard Nel was strong and running inside the top 3 and stayed inside the top 3 all day long. Remember, he has been fighting for a championship, running such good pace and form and consistency throughout 2024. But it was Neil Olofse. He gave absolutely everything she had going out there on the final lap. Even though his arms were tired, he made a ton of mistakes, but he still walked away with the big win. And he put a huge gap between himself and the rest of the chasing pack. In the S1 novices, this was going to be tough on the big bikes. Franco Barnard got himself into a number 6 ride, putting Daniel Schwartz and Helgard Rubenheimer down to a 7 and 8. Dion Smit and Chad Eckhout had a ding-dong battle trying to squeak their way inside of the top 4. as they went out there and tamed the beast that was the final round of the championship. An incredible layout of the track, some beautiful features, 3 Chilean ice cream splits for the riders to choose from, which certainly cut down on roadblocks out there, and a key feature section at the back of the track called the N12, a beautiful technical uphill and downhill challenge, which gave riders the look and feel of racing in the Lesotho Mountains. Danny Webb got himself up there into a number 3 spot. Good ride for him, just missing out on the win. The top 3 separated by less than a minute come the end of the S1 novice category. Webb in 3rd, Hannes Lurk walking away with a number 2 spot, and MJ Bester standing on the top of the charts with a win at the final round. 2 minutes 12. Both riders finishing on the same number. MJ Bester knew he'd been in a fight though. He literally hung onto that one by the skin of his teeth, showing how tight the championship can run in all of these amazing categories. Bester certainly earned that final win of the season. Neil, you've had a banger season and you had a little bit of pressure on yourself coming into this round, eh?
It was a lot of pressure, so I missed the first 3 rounds, so I don't know where I lie on this chart, but I've given my best, and I think it's enough. I hope it's enough. Thank you, HollywoodHills. You're always there to support us, and what an awesome event. I can't see forward for next year.
Here's confirmation of the results in our novice and our greenies. MJ Bester stands on the top step in the big bangers, ahead of Lurk, Webb, Echo, Smith, Barnard, Swartz, and Rubenheimer. In the S2 novice category, the final win of the season going to Neil Olofse. That helped him improve his chances in the championship, beating out on Gerard Nel. SVR, Sean van Rensburg, got the job done. His best ride of the season in 3rd place, beating out Wiseman, Els, de Klerk, Stratum, and Smitty. And then S3 novice, Milan van Kirk, hammering the nail, putting 5 minutes into Dion Jacobs. Van Aert, Peltzer, Kutzer, Leggy, Mulcahy, and Skippers. And our mean greenies, all about Baron Olivier taking the TTR to a win, beating out on the affable Chris Kruger, beating out on Goosen, Ellis, Webb, Lowe, Eckhout, and Jordan. Next up, we move forward into our amateur racing categories. Into the S3 AMs, Oliver Whitehouse down in a number 8, with Hansi van der Berg in 7th place, which meant Dalmain Van Rooyen makes it onto the show, squeaking his way inside of a top 6 and putting 3 laps to count. Junior Oosthuizen rattled and bounced his way down the crazy lines and had one of his best rides of the season, making his way inside of a number 5. Cam Nugeza, good day at the office and a good championship run as well. 4 laps scored and counted. 4th place kept him in the championship hunt. A tough day at the office. 3rd place on a ride for Ian Minnar. Minnar has taken so many wins this season, but this 3rd place unfortunately robbed him of the championship, eventually losing out by a single point. Minnar looks like he's going to have to come back and fight hard to pull that one back. Ruan Opperman, his championship rival, having a good day at the office. 2nd place, more importantly ahead of Minnar. Opperman and those long legs, he loved the track out here at Buxy's. Final win of the season though in the S3 Amateurs, which is a very, very close championship. Rikus Annandale showed his form, speed and style to go onto the lead lap, the only rider on that gate to get 4 laps under his belt. S2 Amateurs, great to see Big Stefan Labiskakny from VW Mastercars Hatfield, breaking out the big dog and going hunting. 4th place ride for him, working on his technical riding skills and starting to come good. Dirkie Kutsia into a number 3 ride. Down the Chile like it was absolute butter. Loves the technical terrain. And you could see the riders that were rock rabbits, they really climbed to the top of the charts out here at this event. Bert Moe, solid and consistent in the championship. Been very much a 2-horse race in this championship hunt between himself and Tristan Porsches. But it just looked like on this style of terrain, the taller Husqvarna rider of Porsches was just that much better, putting a lap into Mo and extending off the front. S1 Amateurs, the big dogs. Most of these guys rocking out there on a combination of 450, 4-stroke machines and 300 smokers. Leonard Marchand in number 7 with Clayton Beck in a number 8. Pierre Piens into a number 6. And Frans de Klerk had a tough day at the office, the would-be champion of the gate. Slotting down there into a number 5, battling with his good buddy Bronson Engelbrecht. Engelbrecht and de Klerk pretty much joined at the hip the whole way through the racing day. They would stand on the podium come the end of the championship after bringing home consistent rides throughout the entire season. Byron Edwards started to come on strong towards the end of the race and towards the end of the season. 3rd place on the final round improved his chances of challenging in the championship. Also gave him one of his best rides of the season. Lewis Turon was up the road into a number 2 spot, eventually putting 2 minutes into Edwards, but could not run with the pace of eventual race winner. Turon, though, was in sublime form and looked like he had found his groove out there at the track. But Jacques Oosthuizen absolutely slayed the dudes this time around. Couple of machines that he can choose from, this time going for the 3 Honey. He had a great gate, good hole shot, and he ran clear air and went 5 laps deep. His best ride of the season for sure.
Bronzy, tell me about the day. That was probably one of the best rides, but definitely one of your toughest rides as well.
Man, it was an awesome ride. First round, big crash. Second round, covered up. But it was tough. It was rocky. It was fast, but yeah, it's dusty, very rocky. The chilies was fast, good, but yeah, I think the actual ice cream was a better loop today. But yeah, we'll give it a once next year. 2nd in the championship for the year. Next year we'll aim for number 1.
Tell me about the highlights for your season. Everyone's got their favorite track and their favorite moment. What's yours?
Today is my favorite track because I made it. It was dial, what do they call it? Dead or dial moment for 2nd place spot between me and Pierre Pence. Pierre also rode well, but luckily I was the better man of the day.
Here's confirmation of Oosthuizen beating out on Turon Edwards, and then the championship rivals of Bronson Engelbrecht and Frans de Klerk down in a 4 and 5 ahead of Piens and Marchand. Tristan Borges put it to Bert Moe, going a lap deep there, beating out on Kutsia into 3rd and Labuskakny into the number 4 spot. And the S3 amateurs, Rickers Annandale, Ruan Opperman and Ian Minnar, the guys that were dicing for the championship. And Minnar just missing out on this one. Geyser in 4th place ahead of Oosthuizen, Van Rooyen, Vanderberg and Whitehouse. The amateur category really came to life this season. Hold your breath as we climb the ladder into the age group classes. Starting things out with our Grandmasters. What a story the Grandmasters have been in 2024. A brand new category, and every single time we go racing we get new blood. Evan Howell has been with us from the very beginning of the category. He stood on the box in the past, but just battled to find his flow at the final round. 6th place for him. But he did beat out on Oosthuizen and Ian Smith. Conrad Edwards also solid. Has had some really good rides, especially at the previous events in rounds 3 and 4. 5th place dropped him down a couple of notches in his championship aspirations. Davey T, Dave Thompson, took it all the way up the road into a number 4 spot and stayed on the back wheel of Gary Whitehouse. Those guys were separated by just seconds out there on the course come the end of play. Whitehouse is a championship player. He hasn't finished outside the top 5 all season long. He'll have been happy with that run. Pierre Kutzer had his best ride of the season into a number 2 spot. But remember, everyone was counting the points this time around, trying to not take any risks. That meant it was the chance of the Shimwell's Fantic, a brand new machine brought in by Shimwell's Yamaha, and the Fantic of Martin Poole at his first Farm Jam of the season on a smoker. Walked away with the big win at the final round. That's going to be interesting when Monty puts together a full championship next year. In the Masters category, this is eye-watering. You've got so many pros racing on this gate, and the pace is super quick. Kieran Mulcahy down in a number 7, which meant that Jaco Oosthuizen made his way onto the show into a number 6, with Steven Kutzer to a number 5. The guys that are technically gifted and experienced, there is a lot of those dudes out there on the course at the moment. Ali Stubbs loves it tight and technical. A former vintage race winner, now racing in the Masters category on a freshie, even though he's got it dressed up as an old school racer. 4th place for him. Out of ANCAT Engineering, Andre Mostert broke out the 300 Husky this time around and found the sweet spot setup on the Olens. Third place, his best gate and his best race of the season at the final round, and also moved him up in the championship because of those double points. Captain Kirk missing in action at a couple of rounds of the championship this season, but he's lost absolutely none of the skills out there riding on the fast gas. Kirky was in a number 2 spot, but he could not run with the pace of Farmer. Farmer has really improved his technical riding throughout the season, using the FJs to improve his skills. And Farmer, for the Bikers Warehouse squad, takes another win and confirms the number 1 plate come the end of the event. Into the seniors, and this was going to be a nail-biter. Everyone was watching each other off the line. Isaac Peltzer into a number 7, with William Smith in 8th. Peter Peltzer into a number 6 ride, with Theo Van Straep into a number 5. Van Straep just trying to stay out of the championship battle and not get involved, because the guys running inside the top 4 were all over each other. Bikers Warehouse rider Fergal McCadlin, he won't have been scared of any of those downhills. Bit of a madman on the descents is McAdam, taking the chilies every single time to try and stay with the front bunch, eventually finishing outside of the coveted top 3. Calder Toy aided hard out there midway through the race and had to recover big time. He was cannonball most of the race, losing his peak, and third place was good enough, just good enough, to hang on to that championship. He was in a 3-way dice the whole way through the day. Himself, DJ Milan, and Tyron Skitter. Milan, even though he came into this round still suffering with a little bit of a late winter flu, second place was good enough to see him still stay in the hunt for the championship. Just a minute off the back wheel of Tyron Skitter, though, the king of Cannonball from last year's event, and also missing in action for a couple of rounds of the season. But when he has been racing at the FJs, he has been the dude to beat. Skitter takes a win on seniors.
Ty, you had that incredible ride last year, and I think this is one of your best rides this season.
Wow, that was a tough course. Really a lot more tech than the other routes this year. Yeah, I got out front, but took the ice cream loop for the first loop, and I think a couple of the guys behind me went down the chili, which was quite hectic. I'm not gonna lie. I went down there on the second lap, and I just decided to do the ice creams for the rest. Shame Carl went down in front of me on lap 3. I hope he's okay. But yeah, that was an intense race, and really enjoyed it.
Tell me about the season. I mean, the tour. What do you like about Farm Jam? What are the standout moments for you on the tour?
I really love the racing, the concept, the racing with the guys, the competitors. There he is. Hey, boy. You okay, boy? Yes. Farm Jam is number 1. Honestly, I missed 1 or 2 rounds this season for just being sick. So, yeah, well, I don't know where we are in the championship, but I'll be back strong next season, and I can't wait.
Carl, it's always a big moment when I see the big number 1 plates. Sure, what a day. You made us sweat out there.
Yeah, it was a tough day. I had a good start. I got into the front, but Tyron and DJ just had me. They were on me. I just couldn't get away from them, and made some stupid mistakes. Went over the bars once, and then I just couldn't get away from the boys today. They were on pace. Eventually I thought to myself, you know what, finish the race and take the championship, or go home in the plus bus. So I cooled it down a bit, eventually started getting rhythm again, and then I felt good, and yeah, but big up to Leon and the boys. The Farm Jam series has been unbelievable. They've really tested us, they've put everything in, and then yeah, a big thanks to the Lord for keeping me safe through the season. First official season back in the racing, and yeah, I'm having a great one. I've just, the luck is on my side, if I can put it that way. The sacrifices the wife and the child does to come sit out day in and day out, the training at home, the mood swings that I put them through. But yes, yeah, overall, Big Chris, Mastercars, Matt, you guys and the boys, fantastic, awesome. What a year, what a season, and I'll definitely be back next year.
Waynos, you had to approach this one clever, didn't you?
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, coming into it's a tight fit between 3 or 4 of us. But yeah, it was a demanding track out there. It really was good. But it was a good, year-end race, if I can put it that way. We had to work today, though, which was good.
And now your shopping list of injuries, the finger must have felt it today.
yeah, you're holding on and it's like you're cramping and everything. But, the adrenaline just pushes through and then you don't worry about it. You're worried about all the rocks and crashing through everything at the end of the day. But, Matt, it was really cool.
Tell me on the tour, standout moments and standout track. Go through it.
Standout moments and tracks. It's all the tracks are awesome, I must be honest, because they offer everything. There's such a diversity of bitty flowy, but too tech, but not too tech. It's really, really good. You know what I'm saying? But standout moments is obviously winning the championship right now, which is pretty cool. But the whole year, just being with the team and everything like that, it's just such a great experience with everybody. And just it's awesome to come racing with the guys.
Kirky, I think a tough season for you, but a great ride today.
No, it was absolutely fantastic. I mean, to end off the Farm Jam series with a track like this was brilliant.
As a multiple champion, just sum up your gate this year.
It was a great gate, very full of, lots of cars that were really, really good. Congratulations to, I think Wayne won the series, which is brilliant. And then anyone who's won in any class, they've done a great job. Well done and congratulations to them. And congratulations to you guys. You've done a great job as well.
Kirky, that's very kind of you. And then on the season, just sum up which was your favorite track and why?
I think that I don't like the dust because I think you're always taking chances. So when it's not dusty, it's a great race. I think the previous Farm Jam about 3 rounds ago was probably the best one that we had this season. It was absolutely amazing. The conditions were brilliant. Everything was great.
Brother, lovely way to end the year, hey?
Thank you. Yeah, no, it was good, eh? It was hard. I must say, I gave it all and it was tough, but lekker.
I know you like it a little bit more in your face, so this was custom made for you, really.
Yeah, no, it was good, eh? I think the husky was set up nicely and everything went well, eh? Yeah.
Tell me about the season. You've kind of like been up and down, in and out. You had a lot of sickness, but it's been a good tour.
Dude, yeah, the flu just took me, eh? I mean, every time it takes me like 3, then you're out for like 3 weeks at a time and whatever. So then you're riding and then you're not riding and whatever. So yeah, but basically we came out, eh? Yeah, lekker.
Just tell me about that Masters gate. I mean, you've been racing for something like 20 years. You've got a lot of guys out there that you probably raced with for 20 years as well.
Yeah, no, sure. No, look, it's always tough, eh? There's nobody slow out there. I mean, all the oaks are all experienced, good oaks. I mean, what is all? I mean, we can't ask for anything more. The racing is just amazing.
Gaz, you've always got a great story to tell, so tell me the story.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit old. Lekker loop. Try to make a bit of time and go greedier in that last peri. I fluffed it. And so I lost some time there, but a great ride. Great events as always, and lucky to be back in one piece of that broken ribs and shit.
And then talk to me about the category Grand Masters. What a incredible story on that gate this year.
Absolutely. I think the lowest is 15 entries. Most of the way through the biggest gate. And yes, a lot of experience there, believe me. A lot of us, like my team, Dirt Bike Fanatics, we've been doing farm jams back from 2011. I sent Leon photos and Melissa photos the other day. So great story, great history with the guys and great event. And thanks to the publicity from you guys and all that. Really, thank you. That's what makes it.
Thanks, Gary. That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Let's check out the numbers on the page. The final win of the season in the seniors goes to Tyrant Skitzer, but it was close. Look at those times. The top 3 separated by less than a minute. DJ Milan in 2nd, Carl de Toy in 3rd, McAdam in 4th, and Van Strijp squeaking his way into a top 5. Farmer put the hurt on the rest of the field, beating former champion Sean Captain Kirk into a number 2 spot. Andre Mostert got his best ride of the season in 3rd place, beating out on Stubby, Kutzer, Oosthuizen and Mulcahy. And in the Grand Masters, a new winner at the final round on a new bike. Martin Poole takes the Fantic to its inaugural win, beating out on Kutzer, Whitehouse, Thompson, Edwards, Howell, Stassen and Smitty. We pick up pace as we swing off the back into the pro classes. S3 Pros came into Farm Jam Racing late last season. Luke Riley brings the big Cower to a good ride inside of the top 6. He's starting to figure things out and understand how the FJs work. Sean Katsivas, so strong. One of the junior riders starting to make his name into the pro classes. Still a youngster. 5th place, he'll be happy with that one. Same story for Raymond Language. The rad KTM rider. Rad out there, making all the shapes, making all the right noises. 4th place, he'll be pretty happy with that one. But the dice inside the top 3 was insane. Jerome Stubbs, Mitch Fallon and Raymond Language all over each other in the early laps until the pin was pulled. Jerome Stubbs making the pass there on Fallon, as Fallon got jammed up in one of the chilly climbs out there on the back of the course. Fallon, a junior in the 85s last year, and now a full-on pro this season. Still trying to find his groove out there, but third place, he'll be happy with that one. An aggressive start for Stubby set him up for the day. Only finished eventually 5 minutes off the back wheel of the race winner. Jerome Stubbs has had a standout season this year, and he can be proud of the results that he has pulled. Ryan Peltzer, though, absolutely nailing down the FJs in 2024, standing on the top step so many times in category and running amazing lap times in the overalls. Once again, the final round was all about Ryan Peltzer hammering the nail. In the S2 Pro category, very interesting situation where it was a breakout and runaway winner, but the second, third, fourth and fifth places in the championship were still up for grabs as we came into the final round. Danny DeToy outside of the top 5 in a number 6, which means that inside the top 5 and good on the final rounds of the seasons was Mike Mawari. Strong run for him. Gav Young coming back amazingly fast as well, tweaked his knee out and had to take his low score. That dropped him down in the championship challenge at the previous round of the FJs, but good enough to bounce back and walk away with a number 4 ride at the final round. Himself and Unruh Mustard from ANCAT Engineering, they've been dicing it out for the championship and top 3s every single round of the season. Mustard getting it over on Young this time around to take a solid third place. In the early laps, himself and Veries, that's Vernon Nordia, were all over each other until eventually Nordia got the edge out ahead of Mustard and put 3 minutes into him to eventually finish inside of a number 2. But what a story on the season. Tyron Peltzer, after being indecisive about whether he was going to come out an FJ race this year, he has been one of the stars of the tour, and he takes yet another win and wraps up his championship at the final round. S1 Pros, huge story with Johnny Bruitzer outside of the top 6 at the final round. That unfortunately lost him the championship, with Ruan Smith just behind him in a number 8 spot. Aldo Lowe got an amazing gate running out early on in a number 2 spot, but eventually dropping down to a number 6. Former FJ champion Erhard Bierkes came back and banged a number 5. Didn't even look like he broke a sweat doing that as well. Ruben Peters has been an incredible find this season as well. Very aggressive, very entertaining out there on the course. Had some mistakes though on the final race, eventually dropping down outside of the podium positions into a number 4 finish. Kai Lublenkoff came out of nowhere at Sgt. Pepper's to win out his amateur gate. Then he moved up into the pros and he walks away with a number 3 spot in the pro category. Banging bars early on with the devastator Devin Smith. Lublenkoff, one of our international superstars, coming across from the Netherlands to come and dice things out with us. A poor start for the devastator, dropped him outside of the top 4, but he fought back nice and hard to get the Vans Racing Husqvarna into a number 2 spot. That was good enough for the championship, but not good enough for the race win on the day. That honor of the final win of the season going to Kobus Bester. Bester got his nose ahead nice and early on, and try as the devastator might, he just could not hang with Bester. It was close though at the finish, inside of a minute, but the final big high five goes to the 269 of Kobus Bester that picked the right weapon for the race. The 300 Husky brought him to the checkers.
Bester, brother, this has been a long time coming, eh?
Yeah, I don't know how I made it, yeah. I almost died on lap 1, so I'm surprised I made it.
Tell me about the track out there. You've been switching up machinery. Looks like you got the sweet spot today.
Yeah, the 300 was definitely the best bike for this. For the Chili's was definitely a Chili this time.
Tell me what it means to you to take the final win on the double points round of the season.
It's definitely something I've worked for on my dad's bike, so I'm happy.
Dev, that was an intense one. I don't think we've ever spun that many laps so fast.
No, this was a fast race. Yes, it's a mini low-fat enduro, this one. It's all rocks and rocks and rocks. But I managed to keep my bikes still and went over the rocks.
Tell me about the traffic, because you guys found them quickly.
Yeah, the traffic was a lot, and there's bottlenecks everywhere, so you must make spaces where to go and stuff. But yeah, the dust was also, the dust was on and on and on.
Just summarize the season for me. It's been an amazing year for you out of the Farm Jams. You must have some big highlights.
Yeah, I didn't think after our back operation I'm getting back on the bike again, but I proved myself wrong, and
I won the championship again, and I'm proud of me. And just want to thank Men's Racing, my family, my girlfriend, everyone is supporting me. I love them.
Kai, great story. Last time around, you kind of suck it and see, and you run good numbers, and they moved you up into the pros, and then today, top 3?
Yeah, I'm happy. I rode S1 Pro. I did one race in Zambia with local national, and then one ride with my dad. So he was like, yeah, it's time you to go to the pro race. And I'm flying back on Sunday to Amsterdam, so I was happy to end off my holiday like this. Yeah, it was such a nice ride today.
Tell me, sum up this track for me, because I think it had a bit of everything.
Yeah, I know, it was beautiful. Some technical descents and climbs, and geez, there was just rocks and lurkers everywhere on the cornering section. But that's actually what I like, flowing with where the bike doesn't really flow, hitting the rocks, yeah, making a rhythm out of it.
Kind of found a little diamond in the rough. Are you going to come play with us next year?
I'll see if it can line up with my holidays. I'm still at university in the Netherlands, so it'll be difficult to tie up. But yeah, definitely the other Zambians from R&D Racing, Ride and Drink, they'll be happy to take part in these events.
Bro, that was a rad ride, but you've got a story to tell, eh?
Yeah, so I had like a pretty good start. I came in like 4th out the gate, and then about like 3 Ks in, I had a stupid fall, buggering up my knee, dropping down to about like 6th or 7th, and then just slowly I started to work my way up, but yo, the rocks came in clutch, helping me try catch up to the guys, but it was a lack of flowy track the whole way.
Yeah, I was looking at the track out there thinking, this is custom made for you.
Yes, each time when I saw rocks, I was like, ooh, can I maybe go do that after? Yes, it was a beautiful track, yeah.
Listen, on the season, let's just talk about the year. You've had an amazing one. You have to have some amazing highlights.
Yeah, so the first round, I had a really bad round. I came 8th, and I wasn't too happy with that. The next one, I was in a road accident, and I missed it. And then after that, I came back and I said to myself, I have to try finish top 3. And from there on, every run, I just loved it. I just kept on growing more, just kept on learning so much more. And this was just like a phenomenal season. From me being like all the way at the bottom to like try working myself up. I'm really proud of this season.
Johnny, a tough interview this one, because you were right there for the championship and it came down to this round.
Yeah, I got the whole shot and I was leading for a while and broke my foot peg, and yeah, nothing you can do about that. I came into the pits, got a new foot peg, and just rode the last few laps and enjoyed it.
Tell me about your season, really. You know, the Farm Jam 2024s. It's been a damn good year for you.
Yeah, it's my first full season at Farm Jam. I've been loving it, and I'll definitely be back next year. I'm going to get a hooter for the lappers and some very strong foot pegs.
Brother, you've had an amazing season, but today looked like a tough day for you.
Yeah, I just couldn't get my head around the track today. I was fast in the speed, but I was just struggling in the rocks. Every time I hit one, it just bounced me. And so I had 2 big calls almost on the 4th lap, so I took a bit of a mental step back that lap just to chill so I don't hit ass and fall on the ground. So, yeah.
You think the pressure of the double points round got to you and maybe a few other guys?
No, I was actually, I only won in S2, so for the championship, so I knew as long as I beat the Oaks behind me, I could win the championship. So I said if I have the pace for overall, I'll try, but today I just didn't have it. And then I just said, I have the championship, so might as well just chill a bit.
It's a great venue and a great story for you. You wrapped up the championship nice and early, but take me through the season, because something clicked in you this year.
The funny part with this season, this series, I wasn't even meant to do it. My dad's friend said I must come with him for the first round. So I said, okay, cool, why not? So then I came, and then I got that 2nd overall, that first round, right behind Ryan. And then I was like, okay, let's do this. And then that 2nd round was what, Rebokuklov or whatever. I won overall there. So first in class. Vernon, or what is it? Yeah, that was a bit of a bittersweet one. I had quite a big crash. Snapped my knee brace straight in half, so I lost some points out there, but that's racing for you. And then others, and then what was the last one? Sergeant Pepper, that was a good one again for me overall. I enjoyed that one a lot. And then this one, I like this route a lot because it had a bit of rocks and speed, but the rocks just didn't click for me, and that's what I'm usually good at.
Right, an amazing season and a tough last round to end things off, eh?
Yeah, this is a lot different to the previous ones. A lot more in your face and technical riding. I must say I prefer the air scramble, but yeah, good job on the track today.
I think with them having that fire coming up to the event, losing maybe 5Ks, that changed things up because it just meant that you guys were spitting laps.
Yeah, and it's very dusty. That the ground just gets very dry when it's after a fire. So yeah.
I know you've been a bit of a champion of this. You know, you love the Farm Jam. You've always got amazing things to say. Try and summarize the 2024 season for Farm Jam.
Oh, just a lot of fun. Definitely something worth doing.
Stubby, you are on a burner this season, but you and Pelzer, hey? Whoa, that was a tough one on lap one.
Yeah, I've really got to give it to him. He's quite the rider, that one.
Take me through the day and take me through the championship because you've had a good season.
I have, yeah. So first lap, I wasn't really feeling the grooves, and my clutch, a bolt started coming out, so it's starting to get stuck in. And other than that, on the second lap, I started getting my groove, and from there, I kept on getting more and flowy.
I could hear the four-stroke out there, and this was not necessarily a four-stroke track.
No, not really, but I did make it work, as always. And yeah, just keeping it wide open.
And then on the season, it's been a good one for you. Have you got any big highlights?
This one's definitely going to be it, but for this year, it's definitely going to be Ruth and completing my first MP.
Let's check out the final results then in the pro category. Bester, his name on the top at the final round, beating on the champ, Devastator. Lublinkov, third place, what a find on the season, beating out on Peters. Bierkus shows up and gets a number 5, beating out on Low. Tyron Pelzer, another win on the S2 Pros and cements his championship. The final round, second place to Nordia, third to Mostert, and fourth to Gavi Young. All too tall out there, bouncing back from those knee injuries. In the S3 Pros, no surprise to see Ryan Pelzer out there, but Jerome Stubbs is coming on strong and ran with him in the early laps. Fell in third place ahead of Language, Katsavis, and Riley. That was the final race, but let's get some words from our amazing riders out there on how they felt about the FJ season in 2024 and their highlights.
It was fun, it was like a fast and flowy the whole season through, yeah.
Farm Jam is such a nice event, such well organized, and just the track layouts is perfect.
It's just, these are for me the funnest races of the year.
I think of Leon and Tani Melissa and Umruan, they really do a good job.
It's well organized, the venues are always nice, and it's just a nice time.
Just the organization and the event and the people and how good the tracks are. I mean, it's been awesome the whole year, and can't fault them on anything.
I like the family vibe. Everyone gets together here. Yeah, the Farm Jam events are a lot of fun. Everybody is always happy, in a good mood.
The organisation is spot on, eh? Well done to Leon and the boys. The guys put so much work in. It was safe, it was well marked, a little bit dusty, but certainly a great series that they've managed this year.
You know, well done to Leon and the team for an awesome series this year, and we've really had a great experience here today.
Awesome shout out to the guys that did the layout for the track. It's awesome, it's my kind of style riding, you would know, all the art stuff. So yeah, I just want to thank all the organisers.
Well done to the track and all the guys, yeah. Great story, great history with the guys, and great event. And
just a lot of fun. Definitely something worth doing.
It's our final sign-off. We are done and dusted for the 2024 running of the Farm Jams, and we couldn't have ended it better.
Yeah, we're definitely dusted. I mean, the track was very dusty today with the field burning down. It just made it 10 times worse for the Oaks. But, you know, the Oaks went out today and they did what they needed to do to finish off the championship on a high. It was an amazing day. Ryan, myself and the team, you know, we put a lot of effort into this year's Farm Jam, and I'm happy. I think everyone that was involved got something out of Farm Jam. You know, I saw guys today, the limit, their riding just went up and up. I'm happy. I can't talk anymore.
Leon absolutely smoked at the end of an amazing championship. The Farm Jam Tour in 2024 is going to go down in history. This was an absolute banger. We look forward to what they've got for us as we look towards 2025. But for now, we want to say thanks to the riders, thanks to the event organizers, thanks to the sponsors, thanks to everyone that made FJ what it is. All this Farm Jam Harescramble racing action was proudly brought to you by Vans Racing, in association with VW Mastercars Hatfield, Stack Ups, V3 Designs, ANCAT Engineering, and SVR Innovations. So as you can see, it was an absolute banger of a race, such a cool event and such a cool season and championship for the FJ guys. And everyone is already asking us where we're going, how big the championship is going to be for next year. So the boys are going to take a couple of months breather, and then we're going to get ourselves ready to review what is going to go down for 2025. Right now, a reminder, we've still got 2 more rounds of the GXCCs, and this weekend, we've got the final round of the South African National Cross Country Motorcycles. We covered this event last year out in Bloemfontein, and hopefully we might be able to head out there and cover it for you guys again this year. Tell you who's going to walk away with the national big number 1 plates. But for now, guys, hold your breath. We've got a little bit of breathing space before we get ready for the penultimate round of the GXCCs. That's going to be in Bronkhorstspruit on the 5th of October. So a little bit of breathing space in the championship, but I've got a ton of stuff coming up. We have got the National Pilgrim's Rest Enduro Championship. That's going to be rounds 4, 5, and 6. That's coming up at the end of the month. I'm going to be out there on the live mic for that one. And then the following month, you guys have probably seen on social media, I'm going to be on the mic at Glen Can Enduro. There's still space, a very exclusive Enduro this as well. It's going to be fun. So if you want to go check out Glen Can, go look into it. This is going to be the 4th year of running this amazing event down there in the Underberg area. First time I've been down there, so I'm super excited about that. But there's still plenty more to come on Hollywood Hills. And if you're loving the caps, by the way, lots of guys have been grabbing these off me. You saw a ton of guys out there at the FJs wearing it. So if you want the flatty freestyle, like I like to go, or if you want to rock out in the bendies as well, drop me a DM and I'll hook you guys up. Chat you later. Stay sweet.